Hi guys, today I want to go over some more of your figurative language. Yesterday you worked with metaphors, similes, and personifications, or I'm sorry, metaphors, similes, and euphemisms. Metaphors and similes, I'm sure that you guys are familiar with. We know that it is the comparison of two things. With metaphor, we do not use like or as. And with similes, we do use like or as. Euphemism, I'll talk about in a little bit. But again, with this, I just want to give you guys a couple of answers so you can make sure that you are on the right track. So if we look at my dad was very blue yesterday. This right here was very blue yesterday. What does that mean? It's comparing him, he's telling him, these kind of metaphors are kind of like idioms also, but my dad was very blue yesterday. This means that this means that he was very sad. So when we look at what is blue, blue is sadness. My mom has a bubbly personality. Let's see. My mom is very cheerful. How about it rained cats and dogs yesterday? It rained extremely, let's see, heavily yesterday. Again, these kind of look a little bit like idioms, but idioms is not in your packet, so we are going to compare these. When we do the creation of your own metaphor, we want to make sure that it is comparing something. So life is what? What can life be? Life is a roller coaster, which is full of ups and downs. Okay. All right. How about if we, so sorry, someone was at my door. Anyways, I'm not sure where I was, but let's just do another one. My mother is a bear when she protects her children. Okay, so you get the idea. Moving down into moving down into similes. There we go. So we know a simile is a figure of speech in which comparison is made between two things where they do use like or as. I feel like a limp dishcloth. Okay. Let's see. That means that I feel tired and lifeless. Fly like the wind. That means to run quickly. All right, again, similes and metaphors should have been pretty easy for you. Let's see. Betty is as graceful. Let's just do Betty is as pretty as a picture. All right. All right, easy peasy. All right, so let's go down to euphemisms. Euphemism is a nicer way to say something. Words can be denotative or connotative. Connotative is the way the word makes you feel, the feeling that is elicited from the word, where denotation is the dictionary definition. So one thing that we say, a euphemism is a polite expression. So my father passed away last year instead of saying my father died. Betty is large boned. Again, instead of saying Betty is fat, it's not very nice. So we look at words that have more of a harsher connotation, something that is more severe. We want to tone down the way that word makes us feel. So there was collateral damage in the war. What does collateral damage mean? There was a lot of death and destruction. Again, death and destruction are very harsh sounding words. they connotate a really deep, dark feeling. Did you just pass wind? All right, well, let's see. Did you just pass wind? This is a nice way of saying, did you fart? Okay, so fart is not a really nice term. Beth is vertically challenged. This is another way of saying Beth is short. All right, so there's your euphemisms. Again, euphemisms, nicer way to say something. You look at a connotative word. All right. All right, so moving into today's lesson, we are looking at personification, oxymoron, and puns. We'll start with personification. We know that personification is a figure of speech in which human qualities and characteristics are given to non-human objects. It can be a dog, or an animal, an object, something that is not human. So the wind whispered through the trees. We know that wind cannot whisper. Hopefully going through this table, you were able to see which word was being personified. So just a couple that I'll do for you. The sun announced that it was time to get up. The word being personified, of course, is sun. He was aware that death was knocking at his door. Death is being personified. And in the moonlight, the waves dance and play with the shore. Again, our personified word is waves. So again, human quality characteristic given. We hear down by waves, we know that it's dance and play. Death, we have knocking. All right, I don't think I need to go any further with personification. You all know what that means. Oxymorons. Oxymorons are fun. It is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. The incongruity may be accidental or deliberate. All right. That would be awfully nice. How can something that's awful be nice? Pigs are pretty ugly. How can something be ugly and pretty? All right, so again, it's two things that don't seem to go together. So you guys had to combine the following words to make 12 different oxymorons and then write them in sentences below. So I'm just going to write a couple here, not the sentences, just some oxymorons. We could have bitter, sweet. We could have, let's see, together, alone. We could have deafening silence. All right, so these are oxymorons. They are two things that do not seem to go together, but in actuality, they make sense. Things that we say all the time. Going back up here, that'd be awfully nice if you would buy me that piece of cake. How can something be awful and something be nice? Again, pigs are pretty ugly. Well, they're either pretty or they're ugly. How can they be pretty ugly? But it's something that we say a lot. So why use oxymorons? Writers often use oxymorons to draw attention to a particular contradiction or to create an ironic sense of humor. Again, irony we're going to work with later in the packet, but we are familiar with our three types of irony. All right, so lastly, you had puns. Puns are like little jokes. My husband loves dumb dad puns. So a pun is a play on words, a joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have different meaning. A horse is a very stable animal. All right, stable we know means sturdy. If something is stable, it is sturdy. But where do horses live? Where do they stay? On a farm in a stable. So there's your pun. Gloves are extremely handy. All right, gloves are a good thing to have. If something is handy, it's useful. And of course, where do gloves go? They go on your hands. There's your pun. Gloves are handy. So if we look, an elephant's opinion carries a lot of weight. So carries a lot of weight is our punning word or phrase, because we know that elephants are big animals. An angry bird landed on a doorknob, then flew off the handle. To fly off the handle means to get mad. The bird is angry, right? So an angry bird landed on the doorknob, then flew off the handle. So our pun is flew off the handle, which is funny because he was angry, and to fly off the handle means to be angry, but also here flew away. All right, so hopefully you guys are able to get through your next 3 words. And again, if you have any questions, problems, or concerns, reach out to me via Schoology. Also, please make sure that you do not submit any assignments until your entire packet is completed. I do not want assignment by assignment. I want the whole packet of 14 turned in all together by next Friday, the 15th. All right. Have a great day, guys.